Today we're going to do an adventure that I'm not sure is possible, but it kind of looks like it's possible. And I've checked out some relief maps, topographical maps, and it looks like there is a way. We're heading up to Mount Wilson, and our starting point, Mount Wilson, by the way, is just south of the Nevada-Arizona border. It's in Arizona, and it's not technically in the Lake Mead area. However, not technically in the Lake Mead National Recreation Area. However, Lake Mead National Recreation Area is on either side of Mount Wilson. It's in the Black Mountains. And so on the far side, which is the normal approach to Mount Wilson, which is the west side, there's the Temple Bar area of Lake Mead National Recreation Area. Now, we're on the east side, and we are starting from, there's Highway 93, by the way, and here is the parking area for White Rock Canyon, and you can access the trail that goes down to Arizona Hot Springs and Liberty Bell Arch. You'll see those two locations on LasVegasAreaTrails.com, and I believe the Liberty Bell Arch area is right in this area here. Beautiful overlook of the Colorado River and the canyon there. But what we're doing is, when we went a few weeks ago to the Arizona Hot Springs, notice this little road, Horse Thief Canyon Road, and it looks like it gets close to Mount Wilson. Now, Mount Wilson is in the Black Mountains. It's a high point, and it looks like it's the highest point around this area, so there would be an awesome view. But the question is, can we make it from this east side? Now, the normal approach is on the west side, as I mentioned. However, it takes traveling up 93 and all the way around the other side of the Black Mountains, and then taking a western approach. I may do that someday. Summit Post has that as an approach, as the main approach that people take. I don't know what the cliffs are. It looks like it's possible. If I can get up to that ridge, I could summit Mount Wilson. On the other hand, maybe I'll just get to the base of Mount Wilson and have to turn around and maybe return and go up the western approach. I hear that's a very beautiful approach. Another unknown is the condition of the road here. Looking at it from this point, it doesn't look too great. But we'll go ahead, and I may not be able to ride the bike up the road. There's the Silver Bullet bike, and you'll notice that I've got my hiking sticks on it. I don't even know if that's going to work. So we've got a whole lot of questions today for this adventure. I may end up running the bike up and riding it down, or maybe I'll be able to ride it up. Who knows? But anyway, the goal is Mount Wilson. Let's see how close we get. Here we go. Okay, so far it looks like Horse Thief Canyon Road has very deep sand. It's almost like somebody dumped a load of sand in the middle of the canyon and called it a road. So with the incline and the depth of this sand, it's impossible to ride a mountain bike up this road. So what I may do, if this does not improve, and look at this sand, just incredible. What I may do if this does not improve is jettison the bike and then just run this road up to where we connect with the ridges that lead up to Mount Wilson. So let's try a little bit further without pushing the bike, and see what happens. Here we go. I didn't get very far with the bike. I'm jettisoning the bike here, and gonna run up the road to as close as I can get to Mount Wilson. So yeah, even if you have a four-wheel drive, you're driving through sand. You could do it, but I can see why people take the western approach rather than the eastern approach. But let's continue on up and just see what happens here, since we're sort of committed to this experience. Here we go. Okay, admittedly, this is probably not the most direct route to Mount Wilson, even on the eastern approach. There's Mount Wilson, and here is Horse Thief Canyon Road, going in the other direction for a bit, and then it's going to circle around and head more toward the base of Mount Wilson. So we'll check it out, see how it goes. One thing I can say is, yes, that was a good decision to jettison the bike and run this. The sandy surface is actually not too deep for running, and easy on the feet, maybe a little slow, a little bit bogged down, but not too much. It's not like climbing a sand dune. So decent for running, and I'll have some times in for you by the time I reach the end of this road and we begin going up ridges. But just to give you a 360-degree view. Here we are in Horse Thief Canyon, and definitely in the middle of nowhere. Looking down toward the Arizona Hot Springs area. And actually this canyon is pretty much, if you ascended White Rock Canyon, the one that leads down to Arizona Hot Springs, and instead you headed east, you would be in this canyon, which I think is a bit of an extension. It may be a branch, but anyway, yeah, we will have traveled this canyon all the way from at least the base of the Black Mountains here, all the way down to the Colorado River, with this and the Arizona Hot Spring day and adventure. Okay, so let's continue on up, and hopefully this will start circling around and heading toward our goal here soon. And then when we get to the end of Horse Thief Canyon Road, the next challenge is going to be finding the best ridge for ascent. So we got a lot of question marks on this trip, but let's keep on going. So far so good. Continuing up Horse Thief Canyon Road, and here's a little marker sign, let you know you're still on the road, although there are no other places you could really go. Every other spot that you could potentially turn off has been marked by a wilderness sign that says no motor vehicles. So our goal is closing in here on Mount Wilson. Let's do a quick 360-degree view. By the way, to this point, it's been about an hour. If I take away the time that I was messing with the bike, the traveling by run walking, definitely it's a steady uphill, sandy surface. Not too deep sand though for running or walking, but boy, don't try a mountain bike on this incline with this depth of sand. So it's a good decision to jettison the bike. So this road should continue around and then finally end, I imagine maybe be an hour and a half, 2 hours most, to get to the end of Horse Thief Canyon Road, and then we begin looking for routes up to Mount Wilson. Looks like there's a lot of cliff action up there, but hopefully we'll find some route, some ridge route that we'll be able to ascend the mountain. We'll see. Here we go. Heading up Horse Thief Canyon Road, and got to be getting near the end. Less than an hour and a half of run walk time. So it's a pretty fast road. We'll see what happens when we hit the end and we start up the canyons. There's Mount Wilson. And I've got a turnaround point of 12 o'clock. It's only 9:38, so hey, maybe we'll make it up there. We'll get pretty close. We got to scope out the various ridges and see which ridges are the best approach. So here's a 360-degree view of where we are. You see we're definitely in the canyon. There's Horse Thief Canyon Road looking down. Very steady incline. But the surface is very good for walking or running. And like I said, it's a pretty fast road. So there we are, getting closer to Mount Wilson. And I would compare this now. It's starting to feel like the La Madre Mountain northern approach starting at Kyle Canyon Road, where you've got a few miles of road as an approach before you hit the ridges and begin ascending La Madre Mountain. So this is a similar amount of effort. So onward, let's see what happens. Be nearing the end of Horse Thief Canyon Road. See a little camping sign. And as I look ahead, I am not seeing anything that looks like an approach without some major climbing. I see a class 3 straight ahead there. Maybe we can take this route to the right. I don't think this road continues much past this area. It looks like we're in a box canyon situation. So yeah, we're gonna end up doing a little exploring here and just see where there might be an opening somewhere to ascend, because we've got to go over these foothills to ascend to Mount Wilson. So I'm not sure. I need to do a little research here. Okay, onward. Oh, by the way, let's just get a 360. Oh yeah, you can see in the distance actually see the Las Vegas Strip down in the far distance ahead. And if the clouds weren't in the way, you'd see the Mount Charleston Wilderness. So, some pretty good views from here. We've ascended quite a bit. It's been very gradual. So, yeah. Let's just do a little exploring and see how we can get over these hills ahead. Yes, who put this barrier in the way here? Sure didn't show up on any map. So, yeah, this is the very end of Horse Thief Canyon Road for obvious reasons. So, what we're going to do is we're going to head up this area, see if we can circle around and get to a ridge. So, here we go. The faintest trail leading off to the right from that box canyon end of Horse Thief Canyon Road. And hey, we're looking right at the trail. You really got to be watching this carefully to pick it out. And let's take a look down the other side. Yeah, and there's the box canyon down there, the end of Horse Thief Canyon Road. So, yeah, you really have to just go by instinct along this path to actually make a path out of it. So let's continue on up here, see where it leads. Faced with another wall. So I'm going to backtrack. And yeah, this would be possible, but I don't want to climb too many of these because then you add too many and each one gets a little more challenging. So I'm going to backtrack a bit, and by the way, there's the you can see Frenchman Mountain. Makes a good landmark. And then I believe Sunrise Mountain in front of it. And then the Mount Charleston Wilderness in the clouds there. So I came up this canyon and hit the wall. I'm gonna head down, circle around, and head up the next canyon and see if that is any more friendly. Okay, here we go. Let's take a minute to get our bearings here. Here you can see the upper end of Horse Thief Canyon Road. And if you continue up that road, you reach a wall. The first, or I'd say the next canyon, is this canyon here, and there's a bit of a wall up there. We just turned around, and the reason I did that was I'm just not sure if I start climbing these walls, if they'll get more and more steep. So we're going to try the third canyon now. And that's this passage right here. It looks a lot more friendly. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like as we ascend. So, third canyon on the east side of Mount Wilson from the top of Horse Thief Canyon Road. Okay, a few more landmarks from this point. There is Fortification Hill. And then if you look to the left of Fortification Hill, in the distance there, just in the haze, you can see a pointy mountain. That would be Gas Peak. And I don't know how clear that's going to come across here, but Gas Peak's there. And then if you trace your way to the right of Gas Peak, that's the Sheep Range. So there are a few more landmarks. Not super clear, but, well, Fortification Hill is clear. It always helps to know what's around you, and you can see the Horse Thief Canyon Road below. So we'll want to make sure that when we return, we don't head down the wrong ridge and end up way off course. Okay, onward. Continuing on up this loose, rocky avalanche slope. And you can see just lots of rocks. It's almost like they've been quarried because they're all about the same size. Fairly large. And I think I'm going to nickname this the bowling alley. But I just want to get to the top and see what I can see from the top. I think I'll have a view of Mount Wilson. Okay, as we're looking around, more points of interest coming into view, and there, of course, you can see Fortification Hill. The page for the summit of Fortification Hill on Las Vegas area trails. And then looking down here, you can see the Horse Thief Canyon Road. And my point of reference, now you can see Lake Mead coming into view. Just right in the center there. Pretty cool. And then right behind it is my point of reference, which is Frenchman Mountain. It's actually not too steep going up, but wow, you look down this thing and definitely, there I lost one of my hiking poles. But anyway, yeah, I've got to head back down this eventually, and it's very doable. Just have to watch your footing because all this rock is loose. It's just sitting here on this hill. But yeah, there you have the views around us. Opening up. Pretty cool. And continuing on up, and I'm finding ways around these loose rocks. So far it hasn't been too bad, but we'll see what it looks like at the top. Might be a dead end, but that'll be at least a good first exploration of the eastern side of Mount Wilson area. Well, we've made it up to the top of this first rise. Looks like a good choice so far. I can circle around the top of this rim here, and we'll just see what things look like on the other side. Maybe there is a route up Mount Wilson, and maybe we'll be able to see Mount Wilson. So that would help if we can scope out the land. And by the way, just to give you an idea, we just came up this, and I think I'm going to put a cairn here because I want to make sure that when I reach this point on the way back that I don't head down that way, which I know ends in a drop-off. So I've got to head down this way and keep these this rocky outcrop here to my immediate left, and then just wind my way down the bowling alley. And here's the upper end of Horse Thief Canyon Road, and now you can see Horse Thief Canyon Road stretching downward. You can see more of Fortification Hill as we rise, and then to the left of Fortification Hill in the distance, you can see Gas Peak, hazy to the left, pointy, and then the Sheep Range to the right of Gas Peak. And then circling around this way, more of Lake Mead coming into view. And there you can see our landmark Frenchman Mountain. Keep us on track. And just continuing around here. This is the view from this point. So pretty cool to be up in these mountains. I've seen them from a distance. I've never been on them. And so we ask ourselves, what are those mountains? And I'm thinking those mountains in the distance there could very well be the Muddy Mountains. So there we've got our perspective from this new location. And let's go ahead and yeah, there you can see Gas Peak coming into clearer view. Some of the clouds moved. That pointy summit is Gas Peak. So you see the adventures to all these locations that I've just pointed out on LasVegasAreaTrails.com. And video documentation, so you get the experience of what it's like to be out here. Okay, let's continue up this rim here. Nice rim, no real exposure to a fall, which is what I like. And let's see what things look like from that point, that high point up there. See if we can see Mount Wilson, and even better, an approach to the summit of Mount Wilson. That's asking a lot, but let's see what happens. Continuing to rise up, and you can see straight in the center, the Muddy Mountains, Fortification Hill. Behind it in the distance would be Gas Peak and the Sheep Range. And then right in the center, there's Lake Mead, and behind it is Frenchman Mountain. And then as you look down in this area, something new. There is the highway bridge between 93 south in Arizona and 11 north going into Nevada. So it gives you an idea where we are. And then, of course, the whole distance is full of mountains that are pretty much shrouded by clouds. So I'll just pan around. But very beautiful up here. Stark, beautiful. There are areas down to the south that I have no idea what those are. At some point, maybe we'll press down a little further and explore those. But for now, we're continuing on up. And I think what I want to do is descend a little bit here and then ascend to that saddle. And I think just beyond the saddle, I think that's Mount Wilson. Not sure, but it does look like the northern approach to Mount Wilson. So when we get up to that saddle, we'll have a better view and hopefully see a route that takes us to Mount Wilson. Today, mostly an exploration day. I'll return back and I can make up this this route a lot more quickly. I won't have the bike to mess with. I've been creating cairns just so I don't get lost in these hills. And it's really interesting that that these hills here are very stark. It seems like it's wide open, but on the way down, if you're not really careful about the way you came, you could head off down the wrong canyon and get totally lost. And I want to establish a standard route here. And so far, so good. And there you can see down below us, Horsefief Canyon Road, stretching out there. And so the return trip's going to be a lot more rapid. And did I show you, yeah, Lake Mead opening up there below us. So that's pretty beautiful. And as we rise, we're going to see more of that. So let's continue on, and let's just see. Yeah, we've got to descend a little bit down here and then ascend that. You can see a kind of a divot. We're going to ascend that divot and reach the saddle, and then look around and see what looks like it could potentially be a route to the summit of Mount Wilson, or a dead end. We'll find out. Okay, I'm at the turnaround point today, and we're looking straight at Mount Wilson. Of course, there's a bit of a valley to traverse, and one could either traverse that valley or potentially head up this ridge here and then just take the ridge up over to Mount Wilson. Got a fly trying to land on my face. Anyway, so that'll be another trip, and I'll get to this point a lot more quickly next time, because I was pretty much exploring this area today. But yeah, we're really close to Mount Wilson, and there you have it. So looks like a few possibilities from this point. Either descend and then descend down into the valley down here, and then ascend up. There's a nice little wash. I could ascend that and then take a left and head up to Mount Wilson. Or I'm tempted next time to head up to this point up here, and I think it might just continue right along the top there. I don't know what it looks like and how rugged it is, but that would be pretty cool too if I could take that ridge up to Mount Wilson. So anyway, different possibilities here, and we will return. But just to show you where we are, we're on that saddle, by the way, that I pointed out a bit ago. Yeah, there's looking down into Arizona. Pretty rugged. Here's a cool little, looks like the Matterhorn. And something probably lives in there. We don't know what it is, but yeah, if I were an animal out here, I'd want to live in a nice protected place, because the winds can be very biting in this area. Okay, and the last time I was at a high point was just to the left of this rocky outcrop. So I've got to go down the valley, down into the valley, and then reascend up to that ridge, and then head down the ridge, make sure I get the right ridge. That'll take me down to, you can see right beyond the rocky outcrop, right beyond the rocky outcrop, you can see Horse Thief Canyon Road stretching out there. And then beautiful view of Lake Mead from this point. And imagine what it's going to look like from on top of Mount Wilson. And then behind Lake Mead, there's Frenchman Mountain. I hope you can hear this with all this wind. Over in this direction is the Mount Charleston Wilderness. Looks like we got some clouds moving in here. So I want to get out of here before the clouds close in. A gas peak right in the center there. Very faint, but it's a pointy peak there to the right of Frenchman Mountain. And then to the right and behind Gas Peak is the Sheep Range. And then this feature right in the center is Fortification Hill. On Las Vegas area trails, we have summits for all these places that I've been pointing out, except Mount Wilson, which will be next. So there you have it. We'll do one 360. Okay, signing off, heading back down to Horse Thief Canyon Road and back to the trailhead on the White Rock Canyon exit off of Highway 93, just about 3 or 4 miles south of the Nevada border with Arizona. Well, I got to point one more thing out. Better view of the bridge at the Hoover Dam area. This is the bridge that borders Nevada and Arizona. So beautiful and stark up here. Okay, signing off. Oh, just another note. I've been sitting here on this saddle looking at these mountains, and one of them is Mount Wilson. Now I'm not so sure. I know the one on the right is not. I'm beginning to wonder if the one in the center is Mount Wilson. And then I look over here, and there's a high point that looks like it's higher than all the others, which would, I know Mount Wilson is higher than anything else in the area. God, I got a fly that just wants to land in my mouth. Kamikaze fly. Anyway, there is potentially Mount Wilson, or this is Mount Wilson. So we'll know when we get up there. That'll be the big discovery. I'll have to look at maps when I get back. Okay, onward. Let's head back.